U nedelju 15. februara u organizaciji Generalnog konzulata Republike Srbije u Čikagu održana je proslava Dana državnosti, Sretenje. Tom prilikom okupio se veliki broj zvanica kako iz srpske dijaspore, tako i predstavnici institucija saveznih država Illinois i Indijane. Takođe, među zvanicama su bili i predstavnici grada Čikaga, kao i konzularni predstavnici država koje blisko sarađuju sa Generalnim konzulatom Republike Srbije u Čikagu. Pogledajte deo atmosfere koju je naša kamera zabeležila.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Tamara Urošević, and I'm honored to be with you tonight as we celebrate Serbian statehood here in Chicago. A day that connects us to our roots, to one another, and to the legacy we continue to build far from our homeland. We are grateful to gather together this evening, leaders, community members, and dear friends, in a spirit of unity, respect, and shared heritage.
Zaista večeras ovo lepa slika kad smo se sabrali da proslavimo značajan datum u našoj istoriji, istoriji našeg naroda, naše države i praznik koji je vrlo značajan za sve nas hrišćane, posebno nas pravoslavne. Praznik Sretenje. I ovaj praznik i ovaj državni praznik takođe proslavlja naš narod bez obzira s koje strane reke Drine živi i svi se raduju danas da mogu da posvedoče ko su i šta su, koje vrednosti su za njih važne, kojim vrednostima žive, dišu i napajaju se. Ja čestitam gospodinu generalnom konzulu, njegovim saradnicima i svim naravno građanima Srbije ovaj veliki praznik i molim se Bogu da i mi ovde i oni u našoj otadžbini živimo u miru, slozi, ljubavi i razumevanju. Što se nas u emigraciji tiče ovde u dijaspori, mislim da je nama važno mnogo Sretenje 1992. godine, kada je naš patrijar Pavle blaženopočivši sa mitropolitom Irinejem, Hristoforom i drugim služio u Beogradu Sabornoj crkvi na ovaj dan i na ovaj praznik i posvedočio jedinstvo naše Srpske pravoslavne crkve širom sveta. Jedinstvo crkve značilo je zrelost jednog naroda, jedinstvo našeg naroda. Rana je bila duboka i podele su trajale dugo, ali благодарeći pre svega Bogu, Svetom Savu i ovim mudrim ljudima, ta rana je zalečena i isceljena. Gospodine konzule, naš narod ovde zadnjih decenija ima jako lepo iskustvo u radu sa generalnim konzulatom ovde i neka tako ostane, da ne karamo da bude. Za razliku od nekih dana, da ih ne pominjemo, kada mnogi naši ljudi su zaobilazili, ali sada je konzulat postao narodna kuća, kuća koja pomaže našim ljudima da ostvare svoja neka legitimna prava, a u isto vreme svedoči o našoj kulturi, o istoriji i povezuje narode koji žive ovde u ovoj gostoljubivoj, slobodarskoj i velikoj zemlji velikih mogućnosti.
Well, thank you for having me here tonight, and a special thank you to the Honorable Consul General, my dear friend, Marko Nikolic. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for coming to visit my great state of Indiana. It was so good to see you there, Consul General. My name is Diego Morales. I'm the Secretary of State of Indiana and the first Hispanic Latino elected to a statewide office in the history of Indiana. You know, I am making history nationwide currently as being the only immigrant Secretary of State in the nation with an accent. That is progress, if you ask me. You know, I am honored to be representing the great Hoosier State as Indiana's 63rd Secretary of State. And tonight I'm here to say to Serbia, thank you for investing in my state. Thank you for bringing your culture, your traditions, your customs, and most importantly, your food. You know, this room is full of dedicated community leaders, business owners, and entrepreneurs. A big focus since taking office is on foreign trade. I have been blessed to have traveled to your country in Serbia. I was so impressed with the beautiful country and the kind people. I recognize the importance of strengthening our ties with Serbia, not only from an economic standpoint of view, but also culturally and academically.
I had 8 years in exile. I call it exile, but it was prison, zatvor, where you can catch up on your reading. And I did a lot of reading about history, including Serbian history, something I should have done when I was growing up, but I was so busy trying to become governor. It takes a lot of time. But I read about Karađorđe and the first Serbian uprising. And I think about that in 1804. And I think about the United States in our history. Right about the same time in American history, Thomas Jefferson made a deal with Napoleon Bonaparte to purchase Louisiana, the Louisiana Territory, which gave the United States almost double the size of our country, brought the Rocky Mountains into the United States. While that was happening here in this hemisphere, across the ocean, there, where Asia meets Europe, in Serbia, Karađorđe was fighting on behalf of the Serbian people and bringing independence after 500 years of Ottoman oppression. And I thought about that story a lot when I had my version of Ottoman oppression. 8 years in prison, it wasn't 500 years, but 8 years is still not a short period of time. And I drew strength from our history, the Serbian people's history, inspiration to never give up, to always endure, to take the blows, and zainad, to keep fighting, and never, ever giving in to those oppressors. So I think of our great history. Yes, and it's inspirational. It's inspirational. And how the Romans and the Ottomans and the Austrians and all the different things that were happening all those years ago and the things that are still happening today. And I just want you all to know how proud I am of all of you, how proud I am of our history, Serbian history, how proud I am of my late father who taught me so many values and lessons that were rooted in the Serbian Orthodox faith, grew up in church and Sunday school. How grateful I am that I am the only governor in all of American history, who ever knew how to sing Tata Kupi Mi Auto.
Together, we are connected to communities like the Serbian communities and others that make Chicago a global city. Chicago is a city that was built by immigrants. We have a vibrant immigrant community. People from all over the world continue to come here every day. It is what makes our city rich, vibrant in so many ways, the arts, culture, food, business, our economy, and also in perspectives and in worldviews that shape how we operate as a city. I'm proud to work for a mayor that is standing up for all of our rights, our civil rights, our constitutional rights, and our right to live in peace in this country. Today, on behalf of the mayor, I would like to read a congratulatory letter to your community for this celebration today. So, dear friends, as mayor and on behalf of the city of Chicago, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Statehood Day of the Republic of Serbia. This special occasion celebrates Serbia's rich history, vibrant culture, and enduring traditions. Statehood Day commemorates pivotal moments in Serbia's national development and serves as a powerful reminder of the resilience and the spirit of its people. Today's event provides a meaningful opportunity to recognize the many contributions of the Serbian community to our city and beyond. Chicago is proud to be home to one of the largest Serbian communities outside of Serbia. Our city's long-standing sister city relationship with Belgrade, established in 2005, reflects the deep cultural and economic ties that unite us. We also extend our congratulations to Belgrade as it prepares to host World Expo 2027 under the theme, Play for Humanity, Sport and Music for All, an initiative that highlights the power of culture, creativity, and connection. I commend the organizers, partners, volunteers, and participants whose dedication made this event possible tonight. Your efforts continue to strengthen bonds between our communities and to enrich the fabric of our great city. I hope you have an enjoyable celebration. Best wishes for continued success. Mayor Brandon Johnson. Thank you.
Go, if you haven't, to the Serbian monasteries here, to the churches, to the basements, and watch the women who are making cookies and the priests who are singing Gregorian chants. It's an amazing culture. It is something that this city has to be proud of. So to the Serbian uprising, to the Serbians who are here tonight, not because the consulate invited them. They're here tonight and not because of the people living in their lives. They're here for their great-grandfathers and their great-great-grandmothers who aren't here anymore. They're here preserving a culture. And this culture is what will keep this country alive. And if we don't keep our ethnic identity alive, we are no longer America. I want to pay a special homage to all the priests in front of me. I have, with great pride, come into all your churches. I have visited your monasteries, and I have wept, not just for the people in the room, but for what your history is and what you've been through. God bless you. I appreciate you. I love you. Stay in the top 22 languages.
I'm going to read the message from the Attorney General, and it's very humble, but I'm honored to be here. So thank you, Council General, for inviting us. Dear Council General Marco Nicolai and Mrs. Nicolai, as the Attorney General of the State of Illinois, I offer my warmest regards to you and the people of Serbia as you recognize Serbia's Statehood Day on February 15. Such an important moment in your history is deserving of wonderful activities, and I'm sure that your celebration will be highlight the beauty of your history and heritage. It is an honor that many individuals and families of Serbian descent call Illinois home, with Illinois, specifically Chicago, having the highest number of people of Serbian descent in the United States. These residents have a significant impact on the state's socioeconomic landscape. The community has brought a unique presence to Illinois. As you observe Serbian national holiday with your traditional two-day celebration, I also would like to congratulate you on your success for your first year as a Consul General in Chicago. Thank you for the things you have done for the community. Additionally, I would like to extend my gratitude to your staff for all the help the consulate provides to those who are visiting from Serbia and those who reside in Illinois. You have my best wishes for continued success. You also have my commitment that I will continue working with you closely. Very truly yours, Kwame Raoul, Attorney General.
The world is experiencing great changes and challenges with an uncertain outcome in which everyone lives primarily in their own interests. The Republic of Serbia understands this very well. As a land on crossroads of civilizations and cultures, it remains a country of strategic values, hopes, and visions that have universal and positive significance and consequences we strongly believe for everyone. Serbia is a country of good people whose historical duration and continuity are best symbolized by the genius and impermanence of Nikola Tesla and the visionary friendship of Mikhailo Pupin and US President Woodrow Wilson. Today, we are privileged and proud to be represented by Novak Djokovic, Nikola Jokic, and strong leadership in the homeland. Everywhere and always, Serbia unwaveringly advocates for the preservation of peace, stability, and prosperity, and patient dialogue as the only means of overcoming all misunderstandings and problems. It will continue to fight to preserve its sovereignty and territorial integrity, constantly strengthen economic cooperation with all interested partners, and contribute to universal and regional integration processes in which everyone recognizes its own interest and opportunity for individual and collective progress. Serbia attaches special importance to bilateral relations and strategic partnership with the United States of America and expect to strengthen and improve it in 2026. Serbia's Statehood Day, Sretenje, is a national holiday celebrated on February the 15th and 16th. Then, as mentioned before, in 1804, the first Serbian uprising against the Ottoman Empire was raised in Orašac. On the same day in Kragujevac in 1835, the first constitution of modern Serbia, so-called Sretenje constitution, was adopted. As the newly appointed Consul General of Republic of Serbia, representing and leading its so-called regional diplomacy in 28 federal states, from Midwest to the Pacific, I'm sincerely blessed and privileged to serve in the beautiful city of Chicago and to be gathered here today. Thank you all sincerely for your attention and contribution. Dragi Srbi, braćo i sestre, velika je sreća što smo se okupili, želim vam dobro zdravlje i uspeh u radu. Svima se iskreno zahvaljujem na dolasku i pozivam vas da se okupimo oko naših neprolaznih duhovnih i nacionalnih vrednosti i identiteta, oko naše majke Srbije i u slozi i zajednici se potrudimo da uradimo nešto dobro i prepoznatljivo za Srbe u Americi, za našu otadžbinu, ali i ovu veliku državu u čije temelje generacije Srba ulažu svoj život i svoje kosti. Dobrodošli i uživajte u prijemu.
Imamo sa nama najboljeg, the best governor ever in the United States. Thank you for coming and say something good about Serbia.
Well, first of all, there's a lot to say that's not only good about Serbia, but great about Serbia and great about the Serbian people. We are a good people. We are a people who believe in God. We are a people who believe in family. We are hardworking people and we are strong people. And when I think about the history of the Serbian people, when I think about the Romans and the Ottomans, and I think about the Austrians, I think about what NATO did to Serbia. I think about how Serbia has been invaded, conquered 47 times in its history, how Belgrade had been bombed 40 times, but 40 times it picked itself up. When I think about what happened in the late 1990s when NATO and our country and Bill Clinton was bombing Serbia, and I think about not just what happened then, but the spirit of the Serbian people was manifested then when all those Serbs decided to stand on those bridges and defy those bombs. Just like the ancestors before, when the Ottoman sultans were demanding tribute and the Serbian princes decided to die rather than dishonor themselves. So I think about our heritage and our history, and I get inspired and have great pride in the fact that I'm lucky enough to be Serbian myself. It's given me strength through all the good times and the bad times that I've had to deal with, so much like our people have had to deal with.
What we have to do to improve the relationship between Serbia and United States?
It's very important for the Serbs here in America, just like tonight. It's a wonderful event. And the Consul General, Mr. Nikolic, has done a great job organizing this. But it's so important for the Serbs here in America to stay connected with Serbia back home and with Republic of Srpska. Because you got President Vučić in Serbia, President Dodik in Republic of Srpska, both standing tall for the interests of the Serbian people. We here in America must do our part in strengthening diaspora, being more organized, being more involved politically to help our cousins across the ocean and our families across the ocean. It's very important, and it's how it works in America. It's a subject I know very well because, after all, you know, I was the governor of Illinois, and I do know President Trump.
Lately, you're traveling so much back to Serbia and here, back to Serbia and here. Did you see the difference between now and back in the 90s?
Well, I was only once in Serbia in my life, and it was in 1999 when Bill Clinton and NATO were bombing Belgrade. I was there with Reverend Jesse Jackson and was able to negotiate the release of 3 American soldiers who were taken prisoner, and the bombs were falling. And then I've had the good fortune over the last several years to go to Belgrade, to go to Serbia, to go to Banja Luka, the Republic of Srpska, and to travel all throughout the area where the Serbian people are. And it's a remarkable change how things are today compared to how it was back in 1999. And it just shows the resilience of the Serbian people, how strong and how tough, and how determined they are to overcome obstacles, to overcome oppression, and how basically they had that spirit, which I believe I have. And you know what it is? It's Zainad. We're not going to let them keep us down. We're going to keep fighting back, and we're going to stand up for the things we believe in, and we're going to stand up for ourselves, for our families, and for our Serbian Orthodox Christian faith.
can we expect from you more political, let's say, more political high position in the next few months, few years?
Well, I leave that it's in God's hands, things like that. But, I like what I'm doing. I have a chance to do work for the Republic of Srpska, trying to get the American people to know what's happening there. Had a chance, so delighted that sanctions were lifted. I very much want to be helpful to the Serbian people all through the Balkans, whether it's in the Republic of Srpska or the Republic of Serbia or in Montenegro or wherever the Serbs may be. I feel I have, knowledge and a know-how about how American politics works. And I've been very fortunate and blessed to know President Trump, who's been so good to me. And I think all of these things can work to serve good purposes for the Serbian people, because I know one thing about President Trump. He's a fighter, and he admires fighters. And I was right with him when he talked about how the Serbian people are great fighters.
Thank you so much, and we definitely need more people like you. And thank you for everything you do for the America, for the Serbia.
Thank you for saying that. And let me just say this, samo sloga Srbina spasava.
Evo sa nama je generalni konzul Republike Srbije u Čikagu, dr. Marko Nikolić. Vaši utisci o večerašnjem okupljanju?
Ja sam zaista počastovan što ovoliki broj ljudi i pripadnika našeg rasejanja i američkih zvaničnika je došao i konzularnog kora je došao da nam iskaže poštovanje i jednostavno da na najbolji način se svi pre svega okupimo, da promovišemo naš identitet ne samo u prošlosti, već i u sadašnjosti i u budućnosti, u smislu ekonomskih potencijala, mogućnosti za saradnju, za unapređenje kulturne saradnje, sportske, umetničke i svake druge.
Vidimo veliki broj, kao što ste rekli, stranih zvanica, možemo reći, i naših ovde dragih prijatelja. Koliko je bilo teško organizovati sve ovo? Koliko vam je bilo naporno?
Pa bilo je zahtevno vremenski, ali da vam kažem, kada čovek osjeća da je to ispravan put i kada to radi iz ljubavi prema svojoj otadžbini i prema svojim ljudima, a i prema svima onima sa kojima deli životni prostor, onda to nije teško. Ja imam divne saradnike, tako da nisam imao problema u tom smislu, ali sam imao pravi motiv i pravi cilj. I kao što sam rekao, uvek polazim i završavam s tim, naša Srbija i naš srpski narod su uvek narod i zemlja mogućnosti i vizije. I to se u istoriji nebrojeno puta ponovilo i ponavlja.
Koji su budući planovi našeg konzulata ovde? Imate li nešto skorije u planu neko?
Pa evo, sad smo obeležili Dan državnosti. To je prava i prva prilika u ovoj kalendarskoj godini da se okupimo. Biće naravno u drugoj polovini godine još ovih državnih praznika, mnogo slava, mnogo godišnjica udruženja, mnogo godišnjica i mnogo dana državnosti ostalih država ovde i njihovih predstavnika u konzularnom koru, tako da su sve to prave prilike da u kontinuitetu predstavljamo našu državu i naš narod.
Kao što smo rekli, vidimo koliko ima stranih gostiju ovde. Kakvi su vaši odnosi sa drugim predstavnicima država ovde u Čikagu?
Pa meni se čini, doduše ja sam tek u prvoj godini svog mandata, evo sad ga okončavam u aprilu mesecu, ali čini mi se da najbolji pokazatelj i odgovor na vaše pitanje jeste to ko je od njih sve došao na ovaj dan. Ali ja sam tu najmanje bitan, bitno je da oni prepoznaju Republiku Srbiju kao relevantnog državu i relevantnog partnera za unapređenje saradnje za dobrobit svih.
Evo sa nama je i Tamara Urošević, voditeljka večerašnjeg programa. Reci mi, Tamara, kakvi su tvoji utisci od večeras?
Ja sam zaista prezadovoljna što je se ovoliki broj ljudi odazvao večerašnjem događaju. Zaista predivna atmosfera, predivni ljudi. Imala sam tremu, obzirom da govore nisam zaista držala od fakulteta, ali vidim da su reakcije ljudi jako pozitivne i prelepo, zaista bilo je stvarno prelepo.
Reci mi, kakve su tvoje veze sa Srbijom? Jesi ti rođena ovde ili?
Ne, ja sam druga generacija Srba u Americi. Rođena sam u Beogradu, ovde sam došla pre 5 godina, ali pre ovog puta sam isto živjela u Americi kao tinejdžer. Završila sam ovde srednju školu i krenula sam na fakultet, pa sam se igrom slučaja vratila za Srbiju i evo me ponovo ovde.
Inače, čime se baviš? Da li si zaista voditeljka na nekoj televiziji?
Ne, nisam voditeljka, bavim se raznoraznim poslovima, ali ono na što sam najviše ponosna je moja organizacija International Serbian Arts and Performance. Nova smo organizacija, tek gradimo odnose, kredibilitet. Nadam se da ću sa tom organizacijom moći da stvorim taj prelepi kultni most između srpske zajednice i američke zajednice. I ovo je, čini mi se, prvi korak ka tome.
Kako ljudi mogu da pronađu vašu organizaciju?
Na Instagramu zovem se International Serbian Arts and Performance, ali je skraćeno ISAPO. Na Instagramu, da.
Sa nama je i Dragan Kojić-Keba. Vaši utisci o večerašnjem okupljanju?
Kako se kaže, krilatica iza svakog ugla vreba, Dragan Kojić-Keba. I to je nekako se ispostavilo i večeras. Pa ja sam ovih dana, naravno iz privatnih razloga, i sa suprugom svojom u Čikagu i sinoć sam i posetio Svetozarski bal. Predivno je bilo. Danas je dan državnosti i osjetio sam i želju i naravno hvala na pozivu i došao sam i upoznao dosta zanimljivih ljudi i svidelo mi se sve i program i jednostavno celokupna manifestacija. Tako da od himne američke i naše pa nadalje sve je perfektno bilo i drago mi je da sam bio ovdje i vidio sam dosta starih prijatelja i upoznao dosta novih prijatelja. Živela Srbija, šta da kažem.
Sa nama generalni konzul Bosne i Hercegovine u Čikagu, gospođa Tatjana Telić. Gospođo Telić, kakvi su vaši utisci o večerašnjem okupljanju?
Meni je bila zaista velika čast i radost prisustvovati proslavi Sretenja, Dana državnosti, srpskog naroda. Moram da kažem, evo gdje god on živio, jer evo i u Republici Srpskoj proslavljamo Sretenje poslednje 2 godine, nakon što je kao takvo utvrđeno kao Dan državnosti Srba na Svesrpskom saboru, deklaracijom koja je usvojena tada i u tom smislu upućujem sve čestitke.
Vi, ako ste generalni konzul Bosne i Hercegovine, uvek ističete da dolazite iz redova predstavnika Republike Srpske. Koliko ste srećni večeras u ovako lepom okruženju?
Pa evo, meni je nekako večeras većina ljudi prišla i kaže pa i vi ste ovdje domaćin. Pa rekao, evo tako se i osjećam. I sjedim s mojim kolegama, generalnim konzulima, kojih je bilo u velikom broju iz drugih zemalja i kaže pa oni vas svi poznaju. Pa ja kažem to je moj narod, kako da ne. I evo, prosto sam se tako i osjećala večeras. Drago mi je da su se odazvali u ovom broju. Ideja proslave Sretenja i ove godine jeste poruka sabornosti i to je nešto što je nama najvažnije kao poruka da pošaljemo odavde i našem narodu i evo generalni konzul i Republike Srbije i ja kao generalni konzul Bosne i Hercegovine, ali kao Srpkinja iz Republike Srpske, našem narodu ovdje da nam je to zajedništvo i sabornost nešto od najvećeg značaja.
Sa nama Andrijana Ilić, pevački ansambl, etno ansambl Zlatni vez. Andrijana, molim te, tvoji utisci.
Šta bi da kažem, još uvijek sam pod utiskom. Veoma sam počastvovana i radosna što smo večeras na ovom skupu, svi zajedno. Zaista se trudimo u posljednjem periodu da što bolje uvežbamo našu tradicionalnu muziku i prenesemo osjećaj, energiju onoga tamo, je li tako? Veoma smo radosne što smo nastupale večeras. Otpevale smo zaista lepe pesme iz cele naše Srbije, pogotovo sa juga Srbije, južnog dela, takođe i centralnog i nadam se da smo prenele lepu poruku. Pomenule smo naravno i naše drago Kosovo, što nam je najveći užitak zapravo večeras. Upoznati sve ove ljude je jako veliko zadovoljstvo i nadam se da ovim što mi radimo ćemo preneti i očuvati na neki minimalan način našu tradiciju i kulturu, što je zapravo i cilj naše grupe. Zaista se trudimo da vežbamo, da budemo što više profesionalni i uskoro možete da očekujete od nas jedan prvi, nadam se, let i veliki koncert.
Sa nama je i Slavica Petrović. Slavice, kakvi su vaši utisci večeras?
Pa nosim božanstvene utiske, najprej zbog toga što je ovo stvarno jedan naš veliki praznik, dan koji treba da se obeleži i u crkvi, a i kao dan državnosti. A mi dugo nismo proslavljali ovaj praznik u Čikagu. Boga mi nekoliko godina ništa nije konzulat priređivao da nešto obeležimo i sada nadam se da je to bilo na inicijativu našeg generalnog konzula, doktora Marka Nikolića, i ovo je večera stvarno bilo božanstveno. Toliko predstavnika stranih konzulata, toliko predstavnika države Illinois, Viskonsina, Indijane, stvarno je ovo divno organizovano i ponosna sam što sam ovde danas na ovaj dan.